Wonderful. I thought I clicked start recording and I didn't. Cheeky fucking sod. Ignore that! Yeah, it's gonna be that one, isn't it? Ugh! I just did this. Oh well. I'd noticed it decently quickly. I think I only got about 20-30 minutes in. It could have been worse knowing how long I fucking record for. If this was a 2.5 hour recording and I didn't spot it, believe you me, I would not be doing any more. Wait, no. Nah, is this... No, this has to be from where I last started off. Yeah, I think it has to be. Yeah, no, this is it. Cool. I wasn't sure for a second there. It's all the same shit anyway, it don't bother me all that much. Still though, it means I can get my thoughts in place a bit more, so it's not the end of the world. Like I say, if it got to 2.5 hours I didn't spot, then yeah, you would not be getting any more of this for like a month. Cause I would be pissed! Unless it's stuck by itself. I don't know. I thought I had it cracked, but evidently not. Also, my cat's been yowling at me, and she wants something, but I tried to let her out, and she just stood there and stared at me like I'm a freak, so... You may have to deal with that, because I don't know what the fuck she wants. Oh. Anyway, I know... Oh, someone said they wanted me to talk about politics because it's funny. I don't really want to, because my opinion on I mean, I will at some point. When something emerges that's, you know, is recent enough and evokes enough bile that I can talk about it, then I will. But most of my opinion on politics generally boils down to the world's a sitcom that's playing out before our eyes and it's all really dumb. Because I don't take politics seriously anymore because there's no fucking point. Like, it's so fucking stupid and meaningless that I'm just like, oh, fuck it. I'd rather ignore it, to be honest. Like, politics is so stupid, I don't even think it's worth paying attention to. They don't care about what anyone else seems to think. Because they've got to guide the world. It's like, yeah, you're doing I'm sure in your context you're doing a wonderful job, but from where we sit, it's a fucking terrible job. Well, like I say, I don't particularly want to. When presumably when another school shooting happens, then there'll be enough meat on the bone that I'll think about it, but for the minute... And you say, oh, that's a terrible thing to say. Mate. There's going to be another one. There just will. Anyone who thinks, you know, isolated cases, no, it's not. It's just not. Although it wouldn't surprise me if they just started hushing it up. I mean, it's kind of challenging, but it wouldn't surprise me if they tried. It's not exactly something you really want just plastered everywhere, is it? But no, I'm, well, what I've already talked about, but what I will start again for, because I only got a small smidge of the way through it, was what I want from 8th Gen. Yes, because I realised that the new announcements for Pokemon probably ain't that far away. Or I'd be impressed if it was. We're hearing rumblings and burblings from people who think things that maybe there's an announcement on the horizon for what the fuck it's going to be. So I figured before we all get inevitably disappointed again and they announce that there's new ways that you can shove a stick up Mantine's arse while it's surfing, I would say what I want from the games, because apparently they're going to be a reboot. Black and white style reboot, where they have just 150 new lads, you go and you do them, or you go find them and you complete the game, and then the rest of the lads start to trickle in as you go, that sort of thing. I didn't particularly like that style of game. I thought them Black and White's approach to it was pretty naff, but you know, fuck it, if that's what they're going for. It's a new console, it's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for them, so I don't see why not. Oh wait a minute, this bloke's got his stupidly annoying, slightly more powerful attack. I should probably heal myself. Fuck you though, Lightning, you're doing alright. But yeah, anyway, the main thing that I really want from... Oh my god. Dude, if that had one more hit in the queue, I'd fucking die. That's terrible. That would be bloody awful. Yeah, the main thing that I actually want from 8th gen, which it's done, we're on 8th, but what do you want? I think, what is it, Pokemon's the most profitable franchise ever? Like, including everything, like, you know, merchandise, games, all that wank, so it's not overly surprising. Oh god, I've got to do my fucking Crystarium again! I think I do it a bit later on, so...
Calm heads make good decisions.
Yeah, fine. A small nugget of advice you can actually have. You can keep that one, Lightning, you can write it down, put it on a fortune cookie, and then you can shove it down your gob. But yeah, the main thing that I want from 8th gen... Alright, yeah, no, this is the main thing. I swear it's easy. I want the way that they go about it, because a lot of people have been calling for an open world. Just complete open world, don't make it linear, linear's dumb. I think that's a little bit misguided, mainly because I'm the randy person that seems to think that maybe Pokemon or Game Freak at some point will have a good story. There's good stories in there. I think, from like I say, from what I heard, Black and White 2 came the closest to actually having a story that made you think. But there are certain things that I feel like you could do quite comfortably with the Pokemon setting. Some of the anime storylines haven't been awful. So what I'd want them to do, because the way that they go about it currently is the linear, or the story is woven into the game. So what you end up having is every now and again you might have some good moments, but for the most part your story is spread so fucking thin that it tends to lose effectiveness. And you know, like I say, because you've got to focus on gyms or, you know, trials or whatever, it just tends to get lost in the muck. And even then, like I say, apart from me, and the only reason I care about it is because Pokemon games are so generic at this point that it's all I can really think of that might interest me at some point. It's just like I say, if you actually had the stories that was a bit smaller, a bit more... So you had a linear open to the game with your story or whatever the fuck you want to tell, and then you can branch into the open world after that, because that tends to be what happens anyway. You play through the game, you slowly unlock different areas of the game to explore, and then at the end of it, all of it's unlocked to you and you can go do whatever you want in the end game. But by that point you've seen all of it, so who gives a shit? Come on, he's got one little blob. There you go. And I feel like that's going to serve the best of both worlds. And it's like, well, for people who don't want the story, well, I'd say once you complete it, if you want to restart it or something, if that's your gig, then just say, would you like the story section or not? Have a little check at the start of the game. Alright, that again, they might consider that a waste of time, but if they actually crafted a decent, like, 6 to 8 hour story, it could be quite good. And then there's like a little thing that can be your introduction to the game as well. You can do your tutorialized bullshit in there, show off the mini games and whatever that the game's going to have to offer, the battle mechanics. And like I say, when you get to the open world bit, if you don't want to do it again when you restart, then you can just be like, no thanks, I'd quite like you to turn this off. And then you can just respec the sort of level cap, like at the start of the game, so you get a level 20 starter instead of a level 5. Oh, it makes sense in my head. Because when you try and do the story and the gyms, well, I don't know, most of the time it is just trying to power through the game, because the gyms are, well, they're the progression, they are the point the focal point of what you're given to work with. So why would you not? And like I say, I think the other thing as well is a lot of the reason that they are woven into the games is because what you can do is you can escalate it from a Pokemon point of view. So when you fight, I don't know, like Giovanni for the first time, he's got like, I don't know, a Nidorino and a Kangaskhan that are level 20, fine. As you get further in the game and then you fight him, like the last final fight before he buggers off and goes and cries in a cave, he's got like a level 50 Dugtrio, or level 55 Dugtrio, Nidoking, Nidoqueen, Kangaskhan, Rhydon, shit like that. So you can escalate it from the Pokemon that you fight. But I don't feel like you'd need that if you did it properly. Like, my favourite example of actual good Pokemon, like, storytelling is the Looker quest at the end of X and Y. It's a small little nugget, but you get to know different characters, you sort of see what makes them tick, you get to figure out what they like, what they hate, what their problem is, how to help them solve their problem, and you're fighting grunts that have like Mucks or Grimers or Zubats or whatever, so I think you could make it work quite comfortably without needing the Pokemon escalation. But yeah, I mean, again, you could tie it back into the open world bit if you wanted to, but I'm just saying, to have a nice, clear, concise story where you learn shit and there's a conclusion, 6 to 8 hours, linear, tutorial, learning the gameplay, and then the rest of it can be your open world. You can go explore and stuff like that. So I think that would be the best way to go about it. It won't happen, obviously.
How the others are doing.
No one gives a shit. I've already seen this. No! Larry, Curly, and Mo.
Even if they got away, they'll get caught eventually. Then they'll have to choose. Resist or surrender.
Or the third option. They will be bummed hideously. Then they'll be tortured, and then, you know, they'll start getting body parts cut off, sent to their families to pay for their return. You know, but don't worry about it, Hope, it'll be cool.
Stubborn to die.
I like this bit because it's really, really out of
chummy from the get-go.
Like,
thinks he's everybody's pal. Never liked him much.
This is such a weird way for her to explain it.
Gang called Nora.
Where'd they get the name Nora?
It's a stupid acronym. Their little
oh my god! Hope is Snow is such a bitch. Ah,
must be nice.
Just like, it just doesn't. It's not in keeping with her. Like, I get it. She has a problem with him on like a conceptual level, and that he's immature. But it's like, although what he just said, I had a great thought when I was recording this the first go round. Like, what you mean immature? Irresponsible, like how your mum went off and tried to help a resistance thing and died. That kind of irresponsible? Is that what you're getting at? Coming together at all? You know, irresponsible is thinking that mums are tough enough to resist a fucking 500-foot drop. That's irresponsible. But hey, you know, swings and roundabouts. I'll do the Crystarium now. I am still recording. Yes, I am. But yeah, if they weren't gonna, if they do want to, if they do just tend to go or decide to go full open world, what I'd honestly prefer is if they sacked off the story altogether. Just completely. Just say, you know what, fuck it. Like, it doesn't work. No one gives a toss about the trite that we put down anyway. Make your own story, I guess? I don't know, maybe include a rival for the sake of a rival, but, you know, like I say, because that's kind of what first gen was, with the exception of Team Rocket. And you kind of took away as little or as much as you wanted from that, and it's like, that's fine. But yeah, I would honestly like rather they just cut it out, because there's no fucking point to having it. It's a waste of time. So, yeah, that's kind of where I end up on it. Or you do a little bit to enhance it, not this full-on, we're gonna drag you by the neck and lead you around all these story cutscenes where you learn things. because it's just not fun or engaging in the least. But hey, I'm sure it'll be open world and have loads of cutscenes in it. Why not? May as well. God forbid you make me happy. I just feel like again, is like if it's going to be a reboot, it's a fresh chance to go about it, and it won't. Especially my last point, which I think will never, ever, ever fucking happen. I could be wrong, and it would make sense if it was right, but it won't. Anyway, moving on. Small thing, maybe, I suppose, because it's here. Oh, but yeah, there's this though. We'll let this happen.
For turning wildlife into weapons.
This is really dumb.
Civilians aren't allowed in here, are they?
We'll have to be sure and tell them if we see any.
And I love it because it's a really stupid way, it's a really roundabout, long way of saying defeat the monsters to get rid of, to move the blockage. But these open-air pens designed to restrain experimental bioweapons are equipped with electromagnetic containment forces linked to a site-wide biorhythmic monitoring system. Fences deactivate automatically when biorhythms for known high-risk species are no longer detected in their proximity. So, what happens when a unknown high-risk species comes along, murders all the little Joes, and then the fences go down? Pure genius. And again, this is a splash screen with a cut. Again, all you needed. You didn't even need to say it. You literally didn't even need to say it. This is such a basic concept in most games. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake. The less, if you didn't explain it, it would have been fine. But no, you've taken the time out to try and give it context, and the context is fucking dumb. Amazing. Nice sip of San Pellegrino to calm me down. But yeah, it is just beat the things to move the things. Essentially, it's, yeah, you could say it's what we've been doing for the entire game. There's a monster in the way, I will beat it so I can move past it. It is essentially that basic. Second thing, like I say, it's a small little knobby thing, but I guess I'll put it down because I'd quite like to see it. Because it ties into the open world thing as well. More depth for ride Pokemon. Because they got rid of HMs, they introduced the ride Pokemon. Inspired. It's not really. It made complete sense. But like I say, they got rid of HMs so that you can have the moves that you want on your Pokemon, as opposed to having to take one and load it up with HMs, or more than likely, if it's your first go through, then you'll put one on each Pokemon, and then it's not quite the Pokemon you wanted it to be, that sort of thing. However, I feel like the way that you walk, especially the way they do it in Sun and Moon, where you walk into a town and they go, "Oh, hey guy, look, here you go, I'll update your ride pager to include a random Stoutland that will sniff out shit for you." I feel like if you did it in the open world way of going about it, then you could say have 8 gyms,
Maybe we should try something else.
and then I don't know, say however many ride Pokemon you want. I don't really know, 5 or 6, and some of the gyms are locked away until you go and get the specific ride Pokemon. I know it goes back into the HM sort of thing, but you could have it decently closed, so you could have to seek it out. But then maybe you have to help the ride Pokemon instead of just getting a fucking pager. You have to help that Pokemon with whatever problem they can't solve. So Tauros, for instance, Tauros smashes down rocks. It can't smash down these rocks because they're golems or they're gravelers, and it keeps fucking it up. So you've got to go defeat the golems, and then Tauros trusts you enough to go and help you out. Stoutland. Stoutland is looking for something, it can't find something. Try and help it find it. Go down a path, and that's something that's basic enough where it's just like, instead of it literally just like, because they may as well not be Pokemon the way they are now. They may as well just be, I want to fly here, my character now flies. That's essentially what it is. I need to find something. I will pull out this metal detector in the shape of a Stoutland. But yeah, like I said, it's a little thing, like, I think would tie into the open world thing quite well. Going back to the open world linear thing for a second, because one other problem that I've always had with Pokemon games is that they don't scale properly. Like, you will almost definitely be over-leveled by the time you get to the final boss. Obviously, I wasn't when I was doing my Ultra Moon. But even then, Robotnik said he was. And Ross, who's playing through Sun and Moon now, says that he's just at the stage where he's mullering everything into the ground. And I really feel like that what you could do with an open world model, because this is why it would work, is you could put in checks. So say you beat the one gym, the enemies that you would face in the wilds in general will go from level 20 to 30. Beat 2 gyms, they'll go up, or you can have in-party checks. So, you have a Pokemon in your party that's level 70. All Pokemon that you find will be level 65 and up. Because even then, if you do it that way, then if you want to find a load... I mean, you could tie that to evolution as well. So say you've got the first thing that you see when you walk out the grass is a level 20 Pidgey. Once you pass level 30 with a Pokemon, then the next time you go back to that grass, it might be a level 27 Pidgeotto. Because then you can kind of manipulate it to get the Pokemon you want once you're done exploring. That would be kind of neat. And then you can use that as a check as well to scale up all the gyms that you'd be facing, or the obstacles in your way, or shit like that. That would be a really basic thing that would add a lot more depth to the game, as opposed to, I'm going to level up my starter so I have a level 90 Blaziken and just fuck the world. That kind of thing. I mean, like I say, they're in general games for kids, and I understand that. But I feel like there's a lot more you could do with the concept. And especially when in some get like, what is it, Emerald? No, you can't catch a Rayquaza right out the gate. But say, alright, Ruby or Sapphire, you can go and get a Kyogre or a Groudon. And even though the Elite Four is a little bit stronger than it, because it's a Kyogre or a Groudon, it's still going to fuck it into the ground. So that's kind of the main thing. But like I said, the Rye Pokemon kind of ties back into the open world, which is you could actually have to try and seek them out. And then they're not deep things that you've gotten to know, but it's a little bit better than just beep boop, I'm going to call up this tool, essentially. Considering they keep saying, oh, Pokemon have got feelings, and oh, we really care. You could do a little bit more to, you know, personify them and humanize them, I feel. I think it would be a really interesting way of going about it. But yeah, that's a little nugget thing. I doubt, again, they'll do it. I like the fact that they moved away from HMs, because they were just a pain in the arse. But I feel like now that you've given them specific Pokemon that do specific things, you could humanize them a bit more. Maybe you can find different ride Pokemon that do the same thing. So instead of a Tauros that smashes rocks by charging at it, I don't know, an Ursaring or a Bufalon. And then you can go and get to know them and find different ride Pokemon. Like instead of a Stoutland, it could be oh, really flexing my brain hole now, a Manectric or any of the other dog lads. Instead of a Charizard again in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, you could fly around on a Latios or a Latias. That's kind of cool. So instead of a Charizard, why can't it be a Staraptor? Yeah. Or a Decidueye. Things like that, you know. Surf Pokemon, that's an easy one. Like, instead of a Sharpedo or a Lapras, a Swampert or a Wailord. That would be fun. Just again, a little sprinkling of something extra that wouldn't make a whole lot of difference, but it would be nice to see. What else have I got? Yeah. Ultra Wormhole with more depth. I think that's fair. The Ultra Wormhole, while I despise the controls and it was pretty lackluster, the idea itself is very good. And it's another, if you don't go completely open world, it's a good way of introducing lots of different Pokemon in a decently accessible environment. And again, the fact that they might be shiny or it might be a legendary is kind of unique and interesting. You don't know what you're going to get. So there's a grinding element to it, but you can find lots of new stuff. You can make it more about finding items. I don't know, like I say, there's the Ultra Wormhole I feel is something that will be discarded immediately as a gimmick, but could be expanded to be something a lot better. Because as it stood, it was really, really fancy set dressing that essentially boiled down to there's 30, maybe, random Pokemon in there that can be shiny, or shit like that, you know, shiny, or I can't remember, I think there was another bonus that they might have. Or they might be legendaries, and it's like, that's fine, but you've got, you know, you planned out this cool graphic and different portals and stuff with likelihood of different Pokemon, so you could do a hell of a lot more with it.
Caged in like the animals.
Where did that come from? Where was his initial cage? Huh? Why is the cage only going up now that he shows up? Come on, you took the time to, you know, explain it and tell us about it, and, was he up in the trees? How do you cage him when he's up in the trees?
Maybe we should try
Just saying.
Here, we can win this.
Can we? We're all losers at the end of the day. But yeah, I just feel like, I mean, especially as it's such an easy thing to add to as well. Like, you could do basic monthly updates to cycle in the Pokemon that you find in the wormhole. How simple and easy would that be?
Try something else.
Oh shit! That's an insta-kill?
I'm sorry. I can't do this.
Oh, I beat you earlier. It better fucking restart me there. That's well cheap. Oh, I don't know. I think that was actually an insta-kill though, which is a bit of a bastard. I just didn't switch to commando quickly enough because I'm busy plobbing on about things I care about. Yeah, no, it does. That's cool.
Caged in like the animals.
Yeah, it's very receptive, thank you. I'm pretty confident that there was one Behemoth before, when it goes to 100% just becomes a bit kill crazy. I'm 98% confident that all this one does is, oh no, this one, like, rears up and pulls an axe out of its bum, if I recall correctly. Or there are versions of them that do it at some point. And it's not a massive amount of fun. Do you want to hit Lightning instead? She's a good punching bag. Please? No, you really don't, do you, buddy? Cool. I'll switch to that. Just launch him into the air. Makes my life fucking easier. Now we can do that. And then... Yeah, like I say, with the Switch being more... with Pokemon being online focused anyway, with trading and stuff around the world, I don't see why you couldn't do it that way. Just update the Ultra Wormhole, or maybe instead of just doing events for random Pokemon, have an event where you go there and you put in a code and then a part of your Ultra Wormhole is unlocked. Just a thought, something simple. He's going to transform and it's going to piss me off. No, he's not. Yes, that's it. Hit. Oh, don't hit her. Oh, no. That is an insta-kill. That fucking sucks. Really?
Maybe we should try something else.
Ow! Sod off, you great big butt. Well, actually, it's not. If Lightning was at full health, she would have tanked it, but... I know I certainly fucking won't. Can we just kill him, please? Thank you. Why was that so much harder the second time round? Well, lightning even died and I got full marks for that.
The observation battalion will be coming.
Let him come.
Do you see how tough and manly he is? Look at how tough and manly he is. He's so tough and manly that he's being irresponsible. It's quite dumb when you stop and think about it. People were coming to try and kill us. Maybe we should hide? Nah, I'm a mayor's man. Arnold Hope Schwarzenegger, bitch. Yes, look. Oh, yeah, poor innocent Hope could fucking jump 50 feet. Oh, this'll go well. At least I can... Well, why aren't you using fire armor? Oh, shit, I'm gonna instantly die, aren't I? War and peace. War and peace. Just, yeah, just get lightning to fucking do that, for God's sake. Much better. I can live with that. Cool. Alright, wasn't as terrible as I was expecting. But yeah, so, I think that covers the Ultra Wormhole. It won't come back. Like I say, that was obviously... I don't think the Mantine one will either. I reckon that was to say, we need a thing that's a thing for our shitty game, our shitty, like, filler game. Oh, here we go, we'll put this in, that'll do. So, yeah, I don't think it'll come back, which is a shame, because it could be so cool. But it won't. Again, could be wrong, probably not. If they are going to keep hammering on with the minigames, though, I'd like them to feed back more into general gameplay. Because my knowledge or remembrance of most of the minigames they tried to introduce... Oh my god, sorry, he's got to have a shit again. I'm strong! I'm so strong, guys! These people are coming to kill us. Yeah, chill out. Oh wow, you're looking at that knife like you're a bit of a weirdo.
Okay, I can tell you're hung up on something.
Really? Perceptive.
Is it the Lissy thing?
I'm lightning, I don't know humans. Well done. God, you couldn't even tell her. Like, the previous conversation you had didn't tip you
What
off.
happened with him?
You
You
wouldn't understand.
probably would. You're not trying to help her understand, so.
You and I are partners, Hope.
Oh, no, you're not. Oh.
My mother was killed because of him.
Not really. It's because she wasn't strong enough. Look how tough she was. I'm so tough. Oh, tough. No, he's not tough. Oh, and yeah, you see, look how tough she wasn't there.
It's his fault.
It's really not. It's hers more than anything.
He needs to pay for it. I'm not ready yet, but I will be soon.
Wouldn't it be brilliant if he cut himself on the knife? Or fell on it?
Snow dragged us all into this. You and me,
What?
your sister Sarah. He's gotta pay.
How? I'm pretty confident that Sarah was the instigator. And you say nothing. Nothing at all. Right, okay.
I've gotta be stronger.
I'll take the lead.
Like, nothing. Oh, do I have to? Can I not? I fucking... really? Like, you know that's not true, actively. That he's just being dumb and 10. And yeah, you're like, yeah, fuck it. I hate snow as well. Yeah, kill the bitch. May as well.
Face your fear. Then you can take on.
This is why I didn't skip the cutscenes, man. Like, this fucking gold. And it only gets funnier as the series goes on, because they keep thinking that they can write good, and it's like, you just can't. I love as well just the every now and again we're gonna say something to make it seem like a living, breathing world, and it's just like, I'm weak, I'm gonna get stronger. You gotta watch your back to watch your back. If you don't watch your back, no one's watching your back. Watch your back. Just not great. Oh, fucking kill him. Yeah, cool, well done. To be fair, you can jimmy this quite easily. If you just like do one attack to launch them in the air, then you can quite easily mug them off while Hope just picks them off. So there's that. Yeah, anyway, I want the minigames to feed more back into gameplay, because from what I remember, like, not even just going back to Ultra Sun and Moon, but like things like like the beauty contest or the fashion or the whatever the fuck they were called, the contest things, we had to grind up berries to make Pokeblocks to make your Pokemon look as fabulous as possible. Alright, whether you gave a shit or not was entirely up to you. I personally didn't. And I don't remember an awful lot of people doing. In fact, even though no one did, they still tried to bring it back 3 times. Like, it's a different version or iteration for every game of this minigame that no one cared about. But it's still... It's different, it's better than the Mantine minigame purely on the basis that your moves and the way you optimize your Pokemon still matters. Like, there's merit to picking different moves, and shittier moves that have less use in a battle sense have more use in that sense, because they actually contribute different things. It's not necessarily, I'm gonna pick Hyper Beam and fuck the world. But to my knowledge, or from what I can remember, the only time that they ever really mattered within the context of actual gameplay is when they helped evolve Militech. That was it. Like that, I mean, considering that Feebas was a pain in the arsehole to get in 3rd gen anyway, but making the Pokeblocks to max out Feebas's beauty stat evolved it into a Militech. That's kind of unique and different, and then they got rid of it and made it, what, trade or level? Something like that. I think it's trade with a Marvel scale. And I feel like that's a slightly missed opportunity, so if they do bring it back, I don't know how you'd go about it. Maybe, I mean, fuck, even something as basic as whenever you get through a contest or do it really well, then you unlock a new set of move tutors. Something like that, I don't know. Like, something just basic that means that it feeds back into the loop of actually playing Pokemon. Because as it stood, the only reason that you do it is for the sake of doing it, and it didn't help people. How will we ever move past it? Wow, that was even dumber and easier than I thought.
Use one of those?
Fuck off, kid.
Bit too heavy for you.
Yeah, stick to your stupid fucking boomerang that you fucking got out your arsehole. Or that knife that you don't use or get better with in gameplay. Clever. Oh god, that looks awful. What the fuck is that? And why did looking at that knife make her have a flashback? I know she got it from...
You became a lessee, so now you're gonna marry this idiot? And you think I'm gonna buy that? Full points for originality. But don't forget, if you really are a lessee...
Why the fuck would you say that?
Sis... This is ridiculous. Worst birthday ever.
But I tried so hard!
Sarah!
I just wanted to tell you the good news!
Why Why won't you believe her?
You kidding me? She gets made a lessee and you pop the question?
Lightning, stop it!
No, you stop it! Get out of my house.
You're shutting her out. She's your sister.
Nice uncanny valley there. I don't want to. I'm the responsible one. I'm gonna fold my arms and ignore you. I love that though. What worst birthday ever, me? Again, you can't just make her out to be fucking strong and independent and shit, and then have a dialogue written like a fucking 5-year-old. Oh, it's so terrible. You're dumb. You're dumb, Lightning. Look at you. You're dumb. You're so dumb. Dummity dum dum. You're a big poopy head. That's what you are. Poopy head. Oh, but she's got you a nice shank. Or shiv to shank people. Wow, that seems like a great way of cutting your finger off. How practical. What?
We interrupt this program to bring you an urgent Sanctum bulletin. Late last night, officials confirmed the presence of a pulse fal'C inside the city of Bodum. Acting with fal'C Eden's approval, authorities declared a state of emergency. The entire district will be quarantined in response to this crisis. This is a Sanctum bulletin. Late last night, officials confirmed the presence of a pulse fal'C inside the city of Bodum.
Wait, did you not believe her?
I should have listened to you.
Wow, out of context from Hope's point of view, that looks fucking crazy. So, you saw her brand, and you're like, that's just a henna tattoo that you're bullshitting me with. Bollocks. Bollocks, I say. Really? Really? It's your job to deal with them, and yet you don't know what they look like, so you ignore her? Wow, you fucking suck. You just suck big, fat, smelly balls, love. But let's not forget, worst birthday ever. So very good.
Out of my way!
It's just not great. It's just not.
Follow my lead.
Here.
Come on, you little shit. Fucking heal yourself. Let's get on with it. Heal me a bit more, because now they're trying to use their Envenom, mate. Thank you. Well, that fucking sucks. I don't want that in my life.
Keep up with me, Hope.
Here.
What are they gonna, yeah, like that. It doesn't have to be major. Just something, a little something that makes the mini games more practical in the actual playing Pokemon thing. Because I don't think the Mantine mini game did anything other than competing. It might have done, but I didn't see a point to doing it then. So it can't have been that amazing. It's not like it taught Terry Dynamic Punch. So yeah, like I say, just a little. If they're going to keep doing it, which they will, because they have the creativity of Pond Scum, just feed it back in a bit more, so there's a reason to care. I mean, the only one that really made a difference was the little, like, Facebook-like minigame where you put Pokemon in boxes and then you can send them to a Pokepelago, and then they go and get items for you. But no, that was just like a Farmville bullshit thing. Oh, this fella's looking a bit more fruity, isn't he? Oh well, he's about to be bloodily fucking murdered, I can tell you that for free. Flip him in the air. Or don't. Oh, I suppose he's already flying, isn't he? Yeah, you could still flip him up further. Another one that will never, ever happen, which is something I've wanted for a while, event-specific moves and abilities, maybe even types. Every now and again you do get event-specific moves, but most of the time these days they're fucking Celebrate, which, alright, yeah, now as of 7th gen, that's suddenly got new significance, of course, but it would be nice to have something a bit, Oh, is that... Oh no, I'll take Gladius, thanks. I would prefer it if they had a bit more impact. I mean, it doesn't have... Again, it doesn't have to be fucking huge. But... Oh, what's a good example? Fucking hell. It's quite challenging to actually think of them now that it just randomly decided to like put it down as a topic. I should have thought of an example before I said it. What's a good one?
Target's a target.
What does that mean? Just completely disrupted my train of thought. Alright, for example, Sylveon has trouble dealing with fire or ground types, so a random thing where it gets a throw over from Vaporeon's move pool. I don't know, like, it doesn't have to be major, but something a bit more powerful than Hidden Power, like, oh, Bubble Beam? I don't fucking know. Actually, good example right now, currently Primarina has nothing that makes use of her ability. Which her ability is it takes normal type moves, or normal type sound based moves, and then turns them into water type with no boost other than stab. So Hyper Voice, for example, gets boosted, but Primarina gets Surf, which is the same base power as Hyper Voice, making her ability completely fucking redundant and pointless. Event Move Boom Burst. There you go. Simple, clean, effective. I don't know, there's quite a few different sound-based moves. I don't know. It's just things like that that might help. What's another good one? I don't know. Like I say, it is quite challenging to think of. I'm not going to argue that, but just simple things that would make it better in general. Like I say, Primarina Boom Burst is kind of an easy one. But beyond that, oh, it's quite challenging. If you have any thoughts, feel free to leave them. Christ knows I'm not the most original fucking person around. The Blasphemy Monster. I don't think that has any ground coverage. Earth Power. Earthquake. I don't know. It doesn't necessarily have to fit into with the meta game either. It can be something as straightforward as a type of move that helps it, and you've got to try and change your moveset around it. Like Landorus, for example. Landorus doesn't really get any good flying type stab. Air Slash, Hurricane, it hasn't got amazing special attack, but if you wiggle it enough, it might work. I don't think it gets any good flying stab apart from Aerial Ace. Really, you could kind of. So, well, you could say the same thing about regular Salamence or Gyarados, but then they both, well, Salamence gets Air Slash and Gyarados got Hurricane. But that kind of makes sense, and you can kind of have to, if you want that flying stab, then you can wiggle your Pokemon around a bit and try and make it work. So yeah, I'd like a bit more of that. I'd like more event-specific, or, like, abilities. Again, that's probably never going to happen either, because that's even more challenging to try and come up with random shit. Oh yeah, no, that's tough. Actually, going back to it, Ambipom has got Skill Link, and yet it barely gets anything to take advantage of that. Bullet Seed, Rock Blast, you know. Icicle Spear, just something a bit off the wall and random.
Nothing I can't handle.
That might suddenly change how you use the Pokemon.
Stay down.
But yeah, no, abilities is even tougher. I mean, the simple and obvious one is Gyarados Lightning Rod. Like I say, because Seeking got it, and it didn't fucking help Seeking in the least, but that would be kind of cool. And like I say, because you can update games, maybe give it a unique sprite, where it's just holding a fucking umbrella in the air, and that helps somehow. I don't know. Or a Gyarados with a kite. Little shit like that, as it were. What else springs to mind? I'd say contrary Victini, but I think if I actually saw that, I'd throw up out of disgust and spite, so probably not. Oh, hang on. Fucking stagger that boy. Well, he's already staggered, but take advantage of the stagger. And then, like I say, types like that, the odds of actually getting like event-specific types are so fucking depressingly low that it'll never happen. But like I say, it'd be fun. Red Gyarados, I think, what was it, Fire Dark that it ended up with, because Pokemon cards ended up having that one, and it was kind of cool. I'd be down to clown with that. Like little tweaks in typing. Why not? How the hell do I get in there? What do I... Oh. Derp, derp, derp. Okay, how is that even a cage? I mean, alright, he's quite chunky, but... Come on, it can be done. So yeah, that's another thing. Like I say, the odds of seeing that are so depressingly low that I wouldn't hold my fucking breath for a minute. But you never know. What time are we at? Oh, we're at 51 minutes. Well, I'll kind of wrap this up because I'm getting close to the end anyway. I'll wrap it up in mind of the next save point. A Lola form concept adapted to open world regions. So like I say, if you have 8 gyms scattered throughout your open world and 5 places where you've got to get the right Pokemon, or 6 or whatever, they could be different areas. So, oh, fucking hell. Like I say, Sharpedo and Lapras would be in water. Charizard could be at the top of a volcano. Tauros could be in, I don't know, like say, some sort of rocky mountain, and Stoutland could be in a desert or a grasslands. Have a few Pokemon that are forms of that region. Then again, you can kind of take that for what you want. So again, you can have Water Arcanine or whatever shit, like Pokemon that have had to adapt to that particular area to get by. Again, simple, easy, reusing an old concept, updatable, most importantly. A lot of this could be viewed in respect to updates that they could do. Just, you know, like I say, another little thing that it goes back into the type change event thing, but you could put it as part of the game. So, like, here I can find regular Growlithe, and then, oh, over here is the unique water Growlithe. Oh, hang on, this is gonna fuck me up, isn't it? Oh, heal me! Heal me, laddie! Little things, little nuggets of, yeah, great. I want that. And then the last one, which, considering all the shit that I've listed, is probably the least likely thing, but makes probably the most sense. Move away from the dual game concept, and then just change the way it works to have it be yearly DLC or microtransactions if that's preferable for the monies. And I know that sounds kind of daft, but it would actually be a lot more convenient for the user, instead of just releasing games yearly where they all have their own bugs or quirks or problems that people don't like, and then they just have to live with it because they've got this engine and it's there. Then you can hone your game and make it better. Have DLC stories, like I say, DLC like Pokemon, or new areas that can be bolted into your open world game. I mean, just even something as basic as like, oh look, if you want, you can pay £5 for a shiny Zorua. I'd never do it because fuck that, but someone probably will, and then there you go. I wouldn't be completely against if you made some of your events paid DLC. Completely. I'd certainly have to, like, have a powerful shit to kind of worm it out of my system, but I'd probably move over to it eventually. If that's what it would take to get away from... Because it's not consumer friendly to have a dual game model. And, like, to mitigate the sort of the fact that the reason that they have two games is because they want you to trade your Pokemon with other lads. You could say have different areas that are only accessible depending on what you do in the game, depending on certain choices you make. Oh fucking hell, man! He's fucking bum cheeks in, isn't he? Oh, heal yourself, you div. Good, well done. Right, you need to die, Sunshine, because you're fucking the whoa. What did that do? 550 damage. Fuck. That's tough. I'm honestly debating whether I can be bothered. Fuck it. I think I can make it work. It's his little blobby monster friends that are most of the problem. I think I'm gonna, yeah, because if we get him shifting, then we can kind of, because a lot of it just kind of boils down to, yeah. We'll see if I can make this work.
Come on, Light.
Oh, no, they just bonked me to death. God damn it.
And so it ends.
Yes, it does, but not for me. I have to keep playing. I wonder if how much CP... Oh, I have loads of fucking CP. Alright, go on then, we'll do that. So that's maxed out. Let's go and max that out. May as well. Go. Oh, and then yeah, let's get into medic. Fuck it. Gives her a bit more HP. Ravagers done. Synergist, get that accessory for you. Oh wait, no, what am I doing? What am I doing? I'm mad. I'm mad. I have no idea why the music or the little background noise escalates like that either. It's very strange. There you go, now you're a bit less shit. A bit. Come on, you fucking asshole. I know I didn't put an accessory on. I can't be bothered that much. I don't know, man. I think I just have to try and blitz it. It's tough. Or at least to get rid of these fucking assholes, and then I'll try and buff, I guess? I don't know. But yeah, it might be wise to buff now. I know there's still 3 Blobiuses, but fuck it, a little bit of help's gonna go a long way. But I think that might do it if I switch back to that now.
Keep it up. Stay down.
And then just hammer away with this and hopefully kill the little crawler. Oh, for God's sake. Die, you... No, fine, he's dead. He'll do. Switch to War and Peace. Oh. Oh, he tanked it! Hey, well done. Oh, wait, he's gonna murder him now, isn't he? Oh, that's so cheap, you fucking... Like, come on, man. If he can't even fucking land on the ground before you've stabbed him up. How is that fucking fair? I have to try and get something going. Right, I've got enough health to do something here. Come on, Hope. Get a bit more on there. If I hit him once. Switch to that, make sure we're all nice and healed. Switch to that. Hopefully he'll just carry on targeting me, and then we can stagger him, and then... Oh, really? Fuck it, that'll do ya. No, you stupid little bastard! Right. Really? Right. Hit him as hard as possible. Because he's being a dickhead. Yeah, I don't think that Nintendo will move away from the dual game way of going about it, and like I say, even though I don't agree with it in the least, and there's so many better ways of going about incentivizing trading. I mean, something as basic as you can only get there are some Pokemon you can only get from trading from previous games. That'd solve it. But connect Pokebank to the new Pokemon games, and then just say, right, you can only get some of them from the old games. That incentivizes trading enough on its own, easily. And then you can go about that way to fill your Pokédex. But I would honestly rather pay a little bit extra for something pointless and dumb than just, like I say, having to deal with this stupid 2-game system. Because the thing is as well, DS games are a lot cheaper than full-on AAA style games. So suddenly it won't be a simple case of fucking two $30 or $40 games. Suddenly it's going to be a case of two $50, $60 games, and it's going to be dumb. It is going to be stupid. Like I say, you want the full Pokemon package? Well, you are going to have to pay an arm and a leg for it. And again, like the 3DS, you have so many different options of how you want to go about getting one. You can get an old 3DS where you can play the games. You can get a new 3DS, a new 2DS. Whereas you've got a Switch, and Switches are obviously going to get cheaper because Nintendo sell the cheapest stuff around, but still a lot more money to dump in. So, like I say, if it comes down to it, and to save a bit of money, or to get a bit of money back, they need to do microtransactions, I'd be perfectly okay with that. Or again, just have DLC. Pad out your game with DLC instead of releasing a new one every year. Because it's the same model I wish FIFA would fucking do. Say, right, we've got a kit, player, transfer, and whatever update for FIFA 19, pay £20 and your FIFA 18 will be upgraded. Because they don't do anything with the engine, so it wouldn't make a fucking difference. And if they do, then they do such a poor job of showing it that it doesn't really stand out enough. Oh, hey. For this one fella? No, I see someone in the background. Come on. Yeah, I fucking thought so. Right, murder him. I think it's same deal again. Which I'm not overly enthused about, to be honest, but there you go, we'll work with what we got.
Stay down.
Switch, because otherwise Lunge is going to come and it's going to fuck me up. Yeah, that's, I think, reasonable. I'm not asking for, the world here, really. I mean, the only thing where I'm really asking for crazy bullshit is the linear into open world thing. I feel like that's about as far-fetched as I've gotten. These are pretty reasonable, steps that I think I'd expect from a company that wants to make a bit of money. And wants to, depending on how they want to go about it, if they want to advance their game. You know, it just depends on what they want from it. Oh, he almost fucked that. Come on, Hope, heal yourself. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Sweet. Right, we'll get into that then. Gotta fuck him up at some point. Oh, he's not sure, is he? He's not sure! Did you just see him doing his little truffle shuffle? Oh, there you go, he's doing it again. Yeah, you can call it strategy as much as you want, but I didn't tell Lightning to end up behind him. Yes, it's worked out super good for me, but I didn't want that. That was not my own doing, so no, it's not strategy, it's just the game kind of choosing who to fucking favour. Oh, here we fucking go. Hope, heal me, heal, hope. Come on, buddy. There, oh, no.
Come on, Light.
Fuck. We can go with that now, I think. Yeah. Juggle him. I do not want to die to you again, Mr. Feral Behemoth. Alright, you're a bit of a dick. That's it. Juggle him, juggle him, juggle him. Yeah, I need up again. Like that. Again, I like the lunge, or the lunge thing, because it kind of ties again into you want to stagger them. That is your focus. When you stagger them, they become a lot more manageable. It looks kind of dumb, but another thing that ties into the system, I suppose. I suppose. Anyway, if you have any thoughts on what you want from 8th Gen, then feel free to leave them. If not, well then, do what you want. I don't mind. But I feel like I've laid out some things that I'd find reasonable. Or would at least, you know, make the game a bit more fun. The linear thing is just the only one that I know is outlandish. I fully accept that, but I still want it. I don't want them to give up on stories entirely. I want them to try. They've proven that with a little bit of care and attention that they can do something and that there is something there, but it just gets drowned in boredom. We're saving that bullshit for next time. I've actually recorded. Technically, I've been recording for like an hour and a half. Yeah. There you go. I think that's me done for the day. It's brilliant. We've been playing for, well, this is an hour of recording, and it still looks exactly the fucking same. Oh, and apparently there's an encoding overload. Whatever. I don't care enough. It says there's no drop frames, so it can suck it up. Anyway, I hope you've all enjoyed this Pokemon ranty goodness, whatever, and I'll see you all for the next one. Peace.